Hi friends, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new, welcome. So glad that you found me. Happy almost Easter. So we are not doing a traditional Easter dinner tomorrow. We are doing something super easy. And so we are doing a recipe that I saw one of my sweet friends do in a collaboration that I was just in a couple weeks ago. My sweet friend Valerie did a sheet pan lasagna, and this looked amazing and super simple, super easy. There's none of the layering and the whole thing that goes with it. So we're gonna jump in the kitchen and we're gonna get this lasagna done. I'm making actually two sheet pan lasagnas. I'm making one this size with beef, and I'm making a smaller one with mushrooms. My sister-in-law is vegetarian and my brother-in-law eats vegetarian, sometimes eats meat. So we're just gonna cover all our bases for everybody. So over here in my cast iron skillet, I have a little bit of olive oil, and we're just gonna go ahead and put in these sliced mushrooms. And we're gonna get these cooking. I'm not worried about residual mushroom stuff in the pan when I go ahead and cook my ground beef. So we're just gonna get our mushrooms started. Because I have to make two separate sauces. I can't make the traditional sauce with the beef in it until I have made the mushroom sauce first. So we're gonna get that going. We have two boxes. I don't think I'm gonna need both of these boxes because I'm not making a large sheet pan like she did. I'm using a smaller sheet pan and then an even smaller pan for the mushroom one. So we're probably not going to use all of these noodles. We've got some Italian shredded cheese. We've got some mozzarella right here. And I know I typically do, yes, I grate my own cheese most of the time, but I'm taking a little bit of help from the store on this one. But I am something exciting. We're going to try out our new shredder attachment for our KitchenAid to do this cheese in just a few minutes. We've got a big jar of Classico 4 cheese sauce. And we've got a big container of, I like the 4% whole milk ricotta cheese better than I like the skim or the 2%. So we just go with the full fat. Same with the cottage cheese. When I use cottage cheese, I do full fat with that too. So we're gonna get our mushrooms cooked. We've got our water boiling back here for our noodles, and we're gonna get this moving. I just got a bowl out so that I can put my mushrooms in it when they're done, and I'm just gonna pour the sauce in here. I don't necessarily need to heat all of that. So what I love about this lasagna is you mix your noodles and you put a little bit of your cheese in with your ground beef, and then you mix your noodles into it. And even though these are long ribbon noodles, you don't have to do the whole layering thing. You're just gonna mix everything up together in your pot, or in this case in the bowl for the mushroom one, and you mix it all in there, you spread it on there, you put your dollops of ricotta cheese, you finish it off with some more mozzarella, some more parm, and it's in the oven and you're done. I mean, it's that super quick, which lasagna is usually a long process, and I just don't have time for that right now because I still have our dinner to make tonight. We have a batch of dog food going over here for our dogs. I have a dessert that I still need to make for Easter. So be looking for that recipe as well in the description. I'll leave a link for that one. I'll leave a link for Valerie's video when she did this sheet pan lasagna, so you guys can check out how she did it. I probably I'm not doing it exactly the way that she did it. I'm just going to do my own thing, but that's the beauty of being in your own kitchen. You can do whatever you want to do with however you want to do it. So our mushrooms, I'm just going to let these finish cooking the water out of these because I don't want this water in my lasagna. So they've got just about another minute. While that's happening, I'm going to get my cheese grater attachment set up on my KitchenAid. Let's get our mushrooms into our bowl. And we're going to cut open our package of ground beef and get that in our pan so we can be cooking while we're over grating up our cheese. Alright, we're going to get our ground beef put in our skillet real quick. Alright, I need to give my hands a quick wash. Got my favorite kitchen tool, my meat chopper. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. I don't want it to burn my meat while I'm trying to get my cheese grated up. All right, so I would have bought pre-shredded mozzarella like I did the Italian cheese, but honestly, I'm excited to use my knee mighty grater. So I decided we're gonna take the opportunity to shred up some cheese with it, and let's go over there and try it. All right, friends, so this is what I've got. This is, I think it's KingEagle, I think is the brand name. But we got this off of Amazon. This was like 50 bucks, I think it was. And so we need to get a couple of these things out so this is clear. So for our mixer, this is just a standard KitchenAid. We are going to, so we're gonna go ahead and remove our little screw right here, get off that piece. And we're gonna go ahead and pull out our grater. Friends, I had to figure it out real quick. So we have these little prongs down in here, and they have to connect. Let's get this in there. I don't know if you can see it back in there. You have to twist this and get those on the little prongs right there so this doesn't come off. And we're gonna put this in here. I'm really impressed with how much it actually got. As you can see, there's only one little tiny piece down in there, and it grated that entire block in probably a minute and a half. Our water back here for our pasta is boiling, so we're gonna go ahead and put our pasta in. We're gonna cook, I think we're gonna do a box and a half in here. A little bit until they get down in our water. So I don't want to have my noodles super done and mushy. So we're gonna put a little bit of our sauce in here with our mushrooms. We're gonna put in just a little bit of our mozzarella cheese. Just so it has a good head start. Like I said, this is gonna be for a small pan. Let's do just a little more sauce. That should be good. All right, so our mushroom sauce is ready for our noodles when they're done. So we're gonna go ahead and mix in some more of our sauce into our ground beef. Just gonna use my meat chopper. I think it'll be fine. All right. Let's go ahead and stir our noodles just another time here and see if we can get them the rest of the way down in our water so we can get these softened up enough that we can mix them in with our meat and sauce, which we'll just do that right in this big pot because I think this gives me enough room here to mix this all up, and then it'll just go into our sheet pan. I'm actually going to bake this tonight most of the way. I'm not going to finish it all the way because I'm going to put it back in the oven tomorrow after we get home from church so that it will be ready for us to take up to my in-laws tomorrow to have Easter dinner with them. I love lasagna, but it's always such a huge process to do. And it's funny, when I watched when I watched her do her collab video that we were in together, and she did this sheet pan lasagna, she actually got this recipe from Giada on the Food Network. So I think it's kind of funny that that's where this recipe originated. So I'm definitely excited to give it a try, see how it tastes. I'm sure it's going to taste amazing because it's just a lasagna, but it's just not layered. It basically just is spread out on a sheet pan and cooked. This is the little pan I'm going to do with the mushroom lasagna right here. And then I'm going to do the bigger one with the beef. And basically all we have to do right now is we're just waiting for the noodles to get done, and then we're going to assemble it. All right, friends, our noodles are ready. So we're going to give these pans a good spray. because Valerie did say that you need to make sure you spray it really heavy because of the cheese. So we're just using some avocado spray. We have our mushroom sauce right here. We're gonna go ahead and put some of these noodles in here. Go ahead and do... And you know, that's the nice thing. You don't have to worry about whether they, like I said, whether they break or not. It's not a big deal because they're just going to get spread out in this pan anyway. So it's not a huge deal. But we're just going to get these, put you down here so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so we have our little pan right here that these are going to go in. So we're just going to go ahead and dump this right into our sheet pan. We're going to spread it out. Make sure we get all of our sauce and our cheese out of here. All right, let's get our noodles spread out. Doesn't matter if they're curled, it doesn't matter if they're not super pretty. That has nothing to do with it. We're just trying to get these all spread out here so that we can get our cheese put on here, our last layer of cheese. We need to get our ricotta cheese put on here. This is gonna be amazing. This one is gonna be super tasty. I love mushrooms, so I'll probably end up eating some of this too. So I'm not too worried about it. All right, let's get a scoop. All right, so Valerie did say that when she was putting these together, that she was just using a little cookie scoop to scoop the ricotta cheese on it instead of trying to mix it in. It just looked a lot better. And I tend to agree with her. I think it's gonna be amazing. So we're gonna go ahead and just use our cookie scoop, and we're just gonna put scoops of our ricotta cheese all over the top of this. Just like that. You want plenty of it too. Just like that. This is gonna be so good, friends. All right, one more scoop right here. All right, now we're gonna come in with a little bit more of our mozzarella cheese right here over the top. This is gonna go in the oven and it's gonna bake at 350 for probably, I'm gonna let mine go. Like I said, I'm not gonna bake mine all the way through because I'm gonna put this back in the oven tomorrow after church before we head up to my in-laws' house for lunch or for dinner. So I'm not gonna cook it all the way through, but I do wanna get it most of the way done, but I will still do the last, like reheating it and browning it is what I'm looking for tomorrow. So, all right, I think that has plenty of mozzarella. Let's go ahead and get some of our Italian blend that we have. Let's get this put on here. Because that is part of a lasagna, is the cheese. That's the big part of it, is the cheese. Put just a little bit more. We want to make sure that everything has some good cheese coverage. All right, I think this looks great. So this is our vegetarian one that we did. We're gonna put this in the oven right now. We're gonna get this going at 350 and we're gonna work on our oven so that we can scoop our sauce in here. Remember, we still need to put some cheese in here. I didn't want to put it in this pan because our pan was pretty hot and I don't want it to just melt and stick to this pan. I want it on the...
So we basically just repeated the same process that we did for the vegetarian lasagna with the beef one.
All right.
And these are going to go in the oven. They're going to bake partially, as I said before, and they will be ready for us to reheat them tomorrow for Easter dinner. I am super excited to eat these, and I love how easy and simple this recipe was to put together.
Let's go ahead and get these put down here on our sheet pan. Like I said before, it doesn't matter if they are not laying perfectly flat and beautiful, because this is a sheet pan dinner. Sheet pan, regular lasagna. And this is going in the oven.
Well, friends, we got tied up getting ready for Easter, but this lasagna was delicious. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video. We'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day and God bless.